So one of the most important things to think about before you set off on your climb is to make sure your gear is racked up on your harness properly. It's really important to have it organised in a way that you're comfortable with, so that you can find your wires or your cams or your quick draws whenever you need them. You know exactly where they are and you can access them easily. So the way I do it is I tend to put wires on one side and cams on the other. Some people put big pieces of gear on one side and small on the other. Depends, whatever you're comfortable with. So I put wires on the right hand side at the front. I've got one beaner with wires 1 to 3 on, and then another beaner with wires 4 to 6 on, and then another beaner with wires 7 to 10 on. And each beaner is a different colour, so I know exactly which ones to go for. Then on the other side, I put the cams racked up with the largest at the back and the smallest at the front. So again, I know exactly where they are when I need them. So just quickly putting them in. So these cams here have got size 00, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Lined up, smallest at the front, biggest at the back. And then on the 2 back gear loops on either side, I put quick draws. Again, starting with the biggest at the back. So that's an extendable one. I put that right at the back. Then a longer one just next to it. And then a medium-sized one just in front of that. And then I'll put some quick draws on the other side. Again, so I've got them on both sides. Depending if I'm holding on with right hand, I can take them off with my left and vice versa. Then your belay plate, which you're not going to need until you get to the top. That can be right out of the way because you're not going to need it whilst you're climbing. So I put that on this loop right at the back, so it's out of the way. And then I'll take a couple of screw gates, which you might need for your setting up your belay at the top. They can be out the way at the back as well. A couple of Prusik loops in case I need to Prusik for any reason. Always useful in case of emergency, keep them on the back. And then a couple of slings. Some people like to keep the slings twisted up on a screw gate on the back of their harness. Personally, I just like to loop them over my shoulder. You can take 1 or 2. And then I'm good to go. It doesn't really matter how you set it up as long as you know how you do it each time. And so when you're in the moment and you're pumped and you're flustered, you know exactly where the gear is, and that's the least of your worries.